Lots of voices for you today is the DUP's Brexit spokesperson, Sammy Wilson. Sammy, thank you very much for joining us. And I was just saying to you a second ago, actually, as we kept an ear across what was happening in Brussels, that the word backstop, we've used it so much over recent weeks, but actually not so much in the last few days. It feels like this Brexit process has perhaps veered off at a slightly different tangent.
I think it has, but still the backstop remains an important issue. Certainly for us, it remains the most important issue because it cuts Northern Ireland off from the rest of the United Kingdom. But equally for many of those who are voting against this agreement, the backstop is an important issue. And it's one of the things we've been saying to the Prime Minister, you've got to deal with, otherwise you'll not get our support. And
I'll just remind our viewers that the backstop is the attempt to avoid a hard border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. But as things stand, the DUP's position hasn't changed, has it? It's not, you're not backing Theresa May's deal.
No, we're not, because we said unless it was amended, unless there were changes made to it, which secured Northern Ireland as part of the United Kingdom and which did not have us treated differently, damaging our economy, undoing us constitutionally, then we wouldn't back it. However, that doesn't mean that we will not continue, as we have done for the last week, to engage in intensive discussions with the government. And indeed, only yesterday we were saying to the Prime Minister, look, Prime Minister, you have a perfect opportunity. The Speaker of the House of Commons has told you, don't bring this thing back unamended. So go and tell the EU, look, I can't even get a vote on this unless you consider some changes which I can then present as a different agreement.
But the EU has presented a united front, to be fair. It has done that consistently, unlike politicians here in the UK who have not been able to come to an agreed position. And this morning you were calling Theresa May's deal toxic. So can you get from toxic to acceptable in the short amount of time that's left?
Well, the poison in it is the fact that it would break up the United Kingdom, or else would be Northern Ireland's position would be used as a blackmail against the United Kingdom in future negotiations. So that pouch of poison has to be removed, and we're saying to the Prime Minister, look, we are prepared to work with you to get that poison removed. We're prepared to add our weight to your arguments, but you've got to recognise that it's not Parliament's fault. We didn't negotiate this agreement, she did.
As things stand though, your votes, your backing, if they were to come for her deal, might not be enough to stop it being voted down next week, based on what MPs have been saying about her speech last night and how angry they feel about what she said.
Well, I suspect that that probably is the case, that whilst people have placed a lot of importance on our votes, the truth of the matter is she has now alienated so many of her own party. She has angered the rest of the House of Commons. She has probably led to some people who voted last week in favour of the deal changing their mind and voting against it. So, you know, this all might be academic, us discussing things with the government. We'll continue to do so, but us discussing things with the government, encouraging her to go to Brussels. Diane Dodds, our MEP, is with Michel Barnier today in Brussels explaining what we need done if he wants this deal accepted. We'll keep making those efforts, but I suspect that given what the Speaker has said and the position which the Prime Minister has adopted, we're not going to get a change next week.
OK, Sammy Wilson, DUP Brexit spokesperson, thank you very much.